Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting. And the reason I'm coming to you today, I want to talk about an article that just came out in the last day or so in Club Industry Magazine. And the title of the article is Gym Owners, Take Action to Get States to Reopen Health Clubs. And in that article, they reference, states such as North Carolina, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, Virginia, Washington, looks like Connecticut, Illinois, Minnesota, different time frames when these folks are scheduled to open up. And what I want to talk to you about, currently, my company, we have clients all across the United States, and we have some that have actually opened. And I want to give you a little insight just on what is happening with those particular clubs. And then we have other clubs that have not yet opened, and I want to talk a little bit about kind of what that strategy has been during this time, and then also that strategy, just in advance of getting ready to open. And so the clubs that have opened, you can see my finger, I had a little accident there with the baseball. The clubs that have actually opened, what we're seeing, it's almost like a January resurgence in terms of interest in people joining and people getting started. So the activity has been strong. And in most of these cases, at least the clubs that we're currently working with, there's been a concentrated effort to really get that message out there, for safety and health and, our promise, to you, as a consumer, and here's how we're going to take care of you. And then also, combined with that, we're continuing a strong marketing effort. We are, we're having member referral programs. It's almost like a re-grand opening. And we're making sure that when we do our staff training, which we're doing really every day, is we want to keep our head right. And know what I mean by that is, hey, people are going to buy. We still need to sell and do it the right way, okay? And follow that process when they come in. And so if we stay true to that, we know we'll have success. And so far, it's worked extremely well. So you folks that have opened, hopefully you're seeing some of the same things. If you haven't, go back and review some of those processes and make sure our head is right. We're not prejudging. We're certainly, we want to make sure we're treating the customer like a buyer. We want to make sure that, all the proper steps are being followed. But more specifically, to clubs that have not reopened. Our strategy has been, because in a manner of speaking, kind of how I've approached this is, hey, we're going to play the hand we're dealt. This is the hand we're dealt. Okay, great. May not be the hand we want, but here's how we're going to play it. And what we've done is we've taken this time really to refine our processes, refine our procedures, and I'm sure a lot of you have gone in there and you've rearranged equipment, you've got it set up for proper social distancing, there's proper procedures in place, you may have repainted, you've recarpeted, we've done a lot of those things. And I think a lot of places have done that, okay? But also we've really worked a lot and continue to do so with sales training. How do we want to approach this? Because the biggest mistake we can make here is to prejudge and to think that people aren't going to buy. And we're seeing this all across the country. People are ready to buy. There's a resurgence with so many of these folks. And there's an opportunity here, not only to help the customer get the results they're looking for, but an opportunity to really grow your business. And so we've taken this time really to work on this, to work on process and to train on it. A lot of folks, quite frankly, that weren't doing that great, before all this happened in sales process. And so it's a chance to get better at it. But then also, getting our plan in place for marketing. Because as I've talked about on some previous videos, this is really the time to advance into your marketplace. This is really the time to expand into your marketplace. This is a time to get known by people that never knew who you were before, for a variety of reasons, whether it be other folks are kind of sitting stationary or other folks perhaps are not going to come back. This is your chance to capture market share. So if we're not doing that, let's focus on really getting that message out there. So when you do open, you've got people that want to come in, they want to talk to you, and they're interested in what your products and services are. So let's make sure we have that planned. And then also, as far as that whole strategy, of what we've done in advance of that, and we're actually continuing this strategy. And what the strategy is, number one, is we want to over communicate with our customer. One of the greatest dangers of any business, and certainly the gym industry, falls into this trap sometimes, and a lot of folks were in this, prior to kind of everything happening. It's the issue of complacency. We get complacent. We're going to get phone calls, people are going to come in, and we don't necessarily work the programs like we should. And so what I want to suggest here is let's over communicate with our customer. One of the things I think we really need to stay away from, and I can't tell you how many times I hear this, I hear it frequently, is, well, Jim, we don't want to contact all of our members. And the reason we don't is we might remind them they're still a member and they might want to cancel. And that is not a business model that you want. I mean, we want to get away from that. I realize that it's real and exists, but we need to get away from this. And from the very beginning, when people join your facility, get a process in place. I call it nurturing, where we're nurturing our customers. We're contacting them, numerous times, first 2 months in the gym to get them to use it. If they're not using it, we're pulling that member usage report every morning. We're contacting these folks. So we want to over communicate with our customer. And really, we want to, in my mind, over communicate in the marketplace. I mean, take this high level of action. You want everyone to know who you are, what you're doing, and why they should choose you. Take this time to do it. This is your time to capture market share. So over communicate. Don't become complacent in this area. The second thing, and again, we've used this all the way through kind of mid-March through, mid-May and even mid-June in some cases, depending on, where the client club might be. But we want to provide an unprecedented level of value to the customer. We want to give them more value than ever before. Let's don't just give them enough that they keep paying their dues. Give them more than they ever expected. There was a time, certainly back when I was building my clubs and I was an owner, and we've talked about this with a lot of clubs, but the way I always like to look at this is kind of like the middle-class country club, is kind of how I refer to it anyway. And so in other words, hey, for a lower price, certainly not country club prices, but we're going to give that country club experience. And think about that. How can we deliver more value than ever before? This is going to help you stand out in your marketplace. And so for you folks that still have not opened, let's play the hand we're dealt, if that's the direction you want to go. And let's give an unprecedented level of value. I would even comment on this. Most of our clubs that we worked with, and this was at the members' option, they were given this option, on average about 80% of all the members, kept paying their monthly dues. And so it worked out extremely well. And in some cases, as we opened up, for kind of long-standing members and had a strong track record, just to gain some additional cash in the bank and a little additional security, we made an offer whereby if they wanted to prepay that membership for 12 months, to help the club get some additional cash, they could get maybe a little discount or get some additional bonus time in there. And so it started to give the club some additional cushion. And when you talk about, IDL loans and PPP and some of this additional cash, as far as cash in the bank, some places are actually sitting in a little better situation than what they were when this whole thing started. So really think about what you want your strategies to be here and how you want to get this done. Because if you're in a situation where, you've got no debt or hopefully very little debt, you've got, some cash reserves, we're over communicating with our customer, we're delivering an unprecedented level of value, you've got a great chance to grow. And take this opportunity to do that. If you've not yet opened and you don't have that plan of action in place, think about some of these. And if you are open, maybe there's some things in here that I've talked about, that you can start to do. The other thing I would mention to you, one of the unfortunate parts of all this, there's going to be some clubs that, just simply are not going to continue. Sometimes it's because of financial. Sometimes, hey, they just kind of had it and they're done, right? Well, these are clubs that you can market to and promote to. Perhaps you can choose to honor their members, and this can give you an exponential growth in your member base. And these are things too, start marketing this right now. If your club is not opened, start marketing to all those clubs in a 3, 4, 5 mile radius that, hey, if they're not going to open, maybe those members can come over and see you. And now all of a sudden, you can have a pretty good uptick in member growth, and you add that and couple that with additional new sales, with any additional, perhaps government funding you may have received, or any kind of special promotional things you're doing, your club can be, sitting in a pretty good situation. So for club owners that are looking to reopen, and you're looking to, take some action that can truly get some results, I mean, highly suggest taking a look at it. I know everyone's anxious to get open, and certainly we are too. Like I say, our philosophy has always been, hey, let's play the hand we're dealt. Here's how we're going to approach this. So love to hear from you on this. Love to hear your thoughts on getting clubs reopened, particularly if your club is not opened yet. Please, leave your comments. Leave your comments below. Love to hear from you. Love to hear your thoughts and ideas, and even your strategies that you're using that might be a little bit different than what we've done, to help grow your business. And if you like to talk direct, I'm happy to do that. You can reach me, call or text 214-629-7223. Happy to chat with you. And again, my name's Jim Thomas. My company's Fitness Management and Consulting. Hey, if you enjoy the content that we deliver, consider, hitting the subscribe button, and we look forward to talking with you guys real soon. Thank you very much.